Well, good morning. How are you all today? Welcome to Integrative Preparedness. Faith, hope, or fear? What's your choice? Well, your decision is important because your life depends on it. You think I'm exaggerating that? I'm not. I'll get to that in just a second. But anyway, it is a great day. If you don't have something to sip on, grab yourself something to sip on, and you will notice that I am not using I'm not using the gathering mug anymore, because our gathering was it yesterday? 2 days ago. Oh, it was great. I'll say a little bit about that before I get started on this. But this mug, you see that? Stonemont, where life is good. That's what I preach. Where life is good. Is your life good? I hope it is. If it's not, let's talk about it here in a second. This was given to me by Parker Kelly and her husband Robert. I believe Robert made these, if I understand it right. They gave it to me at this and another one at the gathering. You can see on the front and on the back, it lists my books. Is that not cool? An Appeal to Heaven, The Reversion, The Revival, The Renewal, and then after that, The Blessings of Freedom, Hostages to Fortune, and On Wings Like Eagles. Yes, I'm working on number 8. Hopefully it'll be out by Christmas. We will see. But isn't that beautiful? I mean, just it's going to take me a while to get over. I'll probably be talking about this for a while. I just love this so much. But you know, they were among so many great people who came to the gathering, and this is going to remind me of it all the time. So let me take a sip of this. You get something. Hopefully you've got a Stonemont mug. I'm sorry that you don't have anything this beautiful. Maybe we'll start printing these things out. They gave me a great idea. And you know, when people have great ideas, I steal them. No, when I don't steal them, I borrow them. When people take my ideas, they steal them. But when I take other people's ideas, I just borrow them. No, that's not true. I'm kidding. But no, that's what a beautiful thing. Let me take a sip. You take a sip of yours. If you don't have it, put me on pause. Go get it. Come back. Take a sip. We'll get started. I thought everything tasted better out of the Stonemont mug. It tastes great out of this too. One more. Let's go. That's just to irritate the people that don't like to hear me slurp and gulp, and also to talk about things before I get to the main issue that they want, which is how horrible everything is. Right? Again, what a great gathering we had. And if you weren't able to, just exceptional people, exceptional. You know, it was, it's a lot of work putting these things together. So what? It's a work of love. It's a work of joy. And you know what? Afterwards, I do not have to recoup from it. I was invigorated by it, and you are invigorated by having good people around you. So, anyway, slip one more thing in to irritate the person who wants me to tell him how horrible things are. If you weren't able to make this, or even if you were, do everything you can to come to next year. I'll just say that it's going to be the first. We're going to have these on the first Saturday of October from now on, and you will plan now, schedule yourself. Save your money if you need to, whatever it is. Make more money during the year so that your life is better, but just plan on coming to next year's. We want to see you at it, and you will be glad you did. One of the things that I'll tell you something that Great Music Fan posted on yesterday's video, or maybe I should hold off on that. Let's get started. So I get up today, and I saw it last night, but I decided to go to bed instead of watching something negative before I go to sleep. I don't let negativity from other people bother me, but I view it as kind of an observer. Okay, I watch the negative stuff, whether it's news or YouTube channels or whatever, to keep my finger on the pulse of what's going on in the world and maybe in the mind of the prepper world and everything like that. I just watch them. I think most of them, well, no, I won't say most of them. I'll say some of them are pretty silly, and especially the negative ones, the doom and gloomers. Pardon me. But I saw this morning how we have the same, the usual suspects wanting to tell you how horrible things are. The economy is horrible. You're going down. We're about ready for a crash, a real estate crash, a crash of the dollar, a crash of the banking system. And you may think that things are going well, but I don't think so. Same old thing. And then I saw another one that was talking about the attacks up, was it Chicago where this happened? I forget what it was. Where that woman rammed the ICE vehicles, and and that was quite a deal. Apparently they surrounded an ICE vehicle with 10 cars. It was an organized operation, obviously. So they surrounded and blockaded this ICE vehicle with some officers in it. And this one woman was ramming them from the back. And, the guys got out and they took care of it. But one of the other channels said, well, the ICE people fired warning shots, and complimented the control of the self-control of the ICE agents and things like that. Well, when I heard them say that, I said, what? Wait a minute, they fired warning shots? You don't fire warning shots, especially in a city. You know why? Because when the bullet goes up, it has to come down, and you don't know where it's coming down. Are you familiar with the basic rules of firearms? And anybody knows that you don't fire warning. I mean, warning shots. I don't. That hasn't been. If it was ever done, and I guess it was done years ago. That went away years ago because you were responsible for every round you expend. And this is how a lot of young kids get killed in the hood in indiscriminate gunfire. Some little 5-year-old girl laying on the couch in her grandmom's front room, and a bullet comes through the wall because of some drive-by the block over, and she's dead. Well, it's the same thing. Nobody fires warning shots. And so when I heard this, I said, warning shots? That wasn't. Well, what it was was defensive fire, which is how they say, as how they put it, that defensive fire is, it's a politically correct way of saying they shot back at the person who shot at them, indicating that they didn't shoot first. I get that. We got to package these things nowadays in certain ways. But no, she shot at them. They shot her, and some friends ended up taking her to the hospital. They arrested her, and now she's in there on $1 million bond. It's an interesting twist. I'll get off of this in just a second and then get back to the main topic. When you find women starting to engage in the physical aspects of protest or insurrection or whatever, you are now in an area that has kind of elevated from the basics. You've seen it all over the world. When women become engaged in that, now we've elevated. Let me take another sip. But back to faith, hope, or fear. There's an entire world that wants you to be afraid. Why do they want you to be afraid? Control, number one. Okay, there's a lot of money to be made in fear, and the world, as crazy as it is, it's easy to kind of weave a fabric of fear among those people who are disposed to being fearful. Now, a person who is predisposed to being fearful is a person who does not feel as if they have control over their own life. Okay? Now, we're going somewhere with this, so follow along. The ones who want you to be afraid because of financial situations, the ones who say, and it's just amazing when I continue to hear this, Nobody can afford a house, they will tell you. Nobody can afford a car, they will tell you. Nobody can afford to buy food, they will tell you. Nobody can afford to buy anything, they tell you. Now, just listen to that. Is that about the most insane thing you've ever heard? You know, they might say they can't afford a larger house or a new house. They can't afford a newer vehicle. They can't afford to whatever. But to actually say that nobody can afford to buy anything, I mean, this is hyperbolic, obviously. But it's insane to say, because it's simply not true. The ones, well, for instance, I was going to tell you what Great Music Fan 57 said in a comment on the Patreon channel. If you're not on the Patreon channel, our Patreon channel, the link's down below, you're missing out. I'll just say that. You're missing out. I put a lot of stuff over there that I don't put on YouTube. And we have we got sharp people on YouTube, commenters and viewers, but we got super sharp people on Patreon, and you're missing out if you're not over there with us. Now, see, here's where a person on the negative end will say, you just want our money. Well, it only costs $1 for more information and exposure to a more positive atmosphere, environment. Now, where is the problem there? Okay, I don't care about your dollar. I don't want. It's just that Patreon allows me to put stuff up that YouTube doesn't. That's why I do it. You don't want to. If a person doesn't want to pay $1, that's fine. It's just like anything else. If a person doesn't want to pay for education, they're not going to get education. If a person doesn't want to pay for better equipment, they're not going to get better equipment. If a person doesn't want to pay for some, whatever, they're not going to get it. These kind of people expect everything for free. But to back to what Great Music Fan 57 said, and it was such a pleasure to meet her. Such a pleasure to meet everybody up here. She flew up to the gathering from Florida by herself. She's a retired lady from New York, and then she went to Florida. And boy, she's a fireball. And what a pleasure to talk with her. But she wrote a comment. She said, if the economy is so bad, how come everybody in the airport that I saw and everybody up here when I came to Kansas was smiling and friendly and happy and spending money everywhere? You see, the negativists, I need to invent a new word for them. Negativistas will say, well, but they're all buying it on credit. Well, they don't know, because they're down so low that's why they're whining and complaining about things being bad, because they can't afford anything, and they want you to be down there with them. See, it's easier to complain about something than to improve your position. Take another slurp. Well, she was exactly right. Do you know why everybody is happy and smiling and spending money and buying cars and buying houses? Because they can. Because they can afford it. You see, the lower rung thinks that everything's done on credit. It's not. It may be how they do it, but it's not. The vast majority of people, well, maybe not the vast majority, and I'll take that back. A great number of people, a high percentage of people in our country, and 100% around here, make money because they work hard, because they've made good decisions, and they have the money to do what they want. They have the money to go on vacations. They have the money to go to the restaurants they want to. They have the money to buy the vehicles they want to. They have the money to buy the houses they want to. Now, when I'm saying this, I'm not saying this to make people who aren't in that position feel bad at all. What I'm saying is there is a difference in people's experiences and in their lives, and the difference comes down to the difference in the decisions they've made. And since this is a preparedness channel, I don't see why anyone would be upset to hear that. I mean, people have been preaching for years the importance of being prepared, right? Well, what does that take? Why is that? Why should you be prepared? You should be prepared because things happen, right? Bad things happen, challenges happen, things come up, and you have to deal with them, right? So being prepared for that is what allows you to mitigate the problems, to get through them, to live a good life through them. You know, I don't have my books out here, but like I said in my first book, The Reversion, Jim Wyatt always said that if everything collapsed, he didn't want to just survive, he didn't want to notice. The lower end of people will say, well, that's not possible. The upper end of people will say, yep, I've already done that. You see, it is possible. And of course, most people are somewhere in between, hopefully working up towards that higher point rather than allowing themselves to be dragged down into the lower point, giving up, because it's easier to give up and complain that life ain't fair and life is good, and I'm whining and complaining about stuff. It's easier to do that than it is to, apply yourself, use your talents, work hard, and make good decisions. And they have a group that is more than happy to give them the reasons to stop trying and just complain because, life's not fair, it's all stacked against you, it's all this, it's all that, the dollar is collapsing, gold is high, blah, 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 Ukraine, Russia, Israel, Iran, and all these things, and they're all on the same team, and all, it is the fog of negativity that doesn't allow them to see a positive path forward. But the difference in your life, and when I say that faith, hope, or fear, your decision dictates your life. Your life depends on it. Now, a lot of people will say, well, they use that term, your life depends on it, if, they're talking about guns and things like that. Well, it's just not whether you live or die. It's your life. It's the kind of life you have, the kind of life you live, the quality of life you live every day. I saw one channel today that started off their video with, well, it's Monday. I guess that's all we can say about that. It's Monday. And I thought, what? Good grief. I get up and I say, man, it's Monday. All right. You've been with me before. You know that one of my favorite verses is, and you can probably repeat it with me, this is the day the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. God woke you to a new day that he has given you. What in the world would you be unhappy about with that? Right? Well, if you live a life of fear and despondency and depression because you think life sucks, and I know I'm not talking with most of you, but if a person, I should start saying that more, if a person wakes up and goes, my life sucks and all that, it's because the decisions that person has made. And at the very foundation of preparedness, it's the same as the foundation of life, is your attitude. Is it a foundation of faith and hope in the Lord? Or is it fear of the things in the world that are driven into you by negative people? You know why negative people want you to believe negative stuff? Because they want the company. Right? Misery loves company, and the more people that they can get to believe them and join them in that pity party, the better they feel, because then they're able to say, well, it's not my fault. Not my fault. See, everybody's suffering. Everybody, because nobody can afford food. Nobody can afford anything. Well, that's just a crock of lies. It is a crock of lies. And it doesn't serve any purpose. Every day the Lord gives you is a new opportunity to get out there and be productive, build a better life with the talents He's given you, help other people, and do what you were charged. And I love so many of these people also. They talk a great deal about God and Jesus. They leave out the command He gave us to be salt and light. They leave out, somehow they never talk about the commission that He gave us to go out and make disciples of all the nations. They leave out the part where 365 times in the Bible it says, do not be afraid. They leave out the part that says, don't worry. They leave out the part that says, have joy in every day. Your life is a gift from God. Why would you want to turn it into a mess of worry and depression and self-pity and things like that? Oh, I know. Uncle Steve is getting hard again. No, Uncle Steve is saying this out of love. I see too many people destroying their lives or allowing other people to destroy them because they have decided to live in fear and hide in the cocoon of fear of what's out there in the world. Don't be afraid of life. Get up, get out there and do something. Do something positive. And it starts with your life. It starts with your life, and preparedness is a part of that, a major part of it, because preparedness allows you to make it through the hard times. There's always hard times. There's always challenges, okay? If you don't prepare, you're relying on other people to help you. Now, if you have to, good. I hope that there's other people out there who can help you. They will probably be the ones who are prepared. But wouldn't you rather be the one who is prepared and help other people than the one who is always belly aching about how things suck and you need help and you're glad that somebody gave you this and gave you that and you can't afford to get a new set of tires and, really? Make your decision. Take your pick. You pick what life you want. And, some people was, again, I'll keep throwing this in because we have new people here all the time. And may I make this request too? For all those of you who have been with me for some time, and even for those who are more recently joining us, would you share this with people? I feel as if I'm almost in a war now with the negativistas. It disgusts me. It sickens me to see the negative messages put out there in the world, because I know the people that are victimized by it. Would you share this with people that you know? Share my other videos. Because the message here is that you are worth something. You are God's precious child. He does not want you to live a life of fear and depression. He wants you to live a life of positivity, of faith and hope, so that He can use you to help other people. He didn't mean for you to hide. He meant for you to break out of that cocoon. Be the butterfly. Get out there and do something. Help people and add to the world. For those of you who were at the gathering, you saw this at work among the other people there, didn't you? You met a bunch of good people. You met smiling people, positive people, nice people, supportive people, interested people, and interesting people. There was such a feeling of, well, I keep using this term, but it is true, positivity of faith and of hope. And of real community, wasn't there? What a great deal. For those of you who weren't able to join us, I sure hope you can next year. You will. It'll be, great music fan said, I met so many nice people, both at the gathering and just coming up to Kansas here. It was worth every penny she paid, she said. To fly up from Florida, rent a car, rent a hotel. And she's a retired lady. And by the way, great music fan, I haven't forgotten, and they are in my prayers. Stone Mount, where life is good. Are you building your own stone mount? You should. Don't know how to do it. I don't have my books out here, but you go to our website, Stone Mount. If you haven't read my books, the guy who wrote the foreword to the first couple of books said that, and it's a story about the collapse of everything. I'm no stranger to the collapse of everything. I know all the bad stuff. I just choose to decide to prepare for it, to be able to handle it and live a good life. I have no desire to live in a wasteland or, with barely getting by. Just like I had Jim Wyatt say, I don't want to notice. When problems come, I don't want to notice. And right now, a lot of people are saying, well, must be nice, easy for you to say. No, it's not easy for me to say. It wasn't easy. It was the result of many, many years of hard work. But you can do it. But where life is good, or what I was saying, you can find my books, if you haven't read them, on our website, stonemount.us. Buy them. I keep slipping stuff in because my mind is going off on 5 different things that I want to get in. But the guy who wrote this foreword to the first couple of books said it's an amazingly positive story about an amazingly negative situation. Well, you're going to run into negative situations, but how positive is your story? And then life can bring a lot of negative stuff to you. But your life should be an amazingly positive story, where life is good. So guys, stop listening to the downers. Stop listening to those that want to suck you down into their perpetual pity party. Break out of it. Get out of it. Live the life the good Lord meant you to live. And then get out there and help other people do it too. All right? Deal? Deal, Steve? Hey, you all have a good day. Don't let negativism in your life. You know what to do when a negative thought comes in your life, in your mind? It all starts in your mind. The enemy is attacking you all the time. You know what to do, right? You get rid of it. You say, Lord, get that negativity out of me. Put your positivity in me and show me what to do next and help me do it. And your life will be better than you ever could have imagined. And it's a lot more than rice and beans. All right. You all have a great day. Remember that we prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow. And Parker and Bob, I can't get over this, but everybody live a life, build a life where life is good. And I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.